Hello, hello, hello! Welcome one and all to Thinky Thursday, where usually we think about Lucien things, but today we're thinking about something completely different. We're doing a different project, something entirely unrelated to Lucien that I'm working on. And it's a labour of love. It's something that's meant a lot to my family for a long time, and it's also something I'm hoping to build up into a thing that can help, like, pay the bills and sustain me and allow me to keep having time to do fun, creative things after the PhD finishes. That's the plan. And what I'm doing is I'm working on a show that already exists. I'm not making a new show. No one get too excited. It's a show from like 1997. I've talked about it on stream a couple of times before, so I won't bore you with the explanation too much. But it's a comedy animated show called The Treacle People that my dad produced many, many years ago. And it was on DVD in Australia. Some of the episodes, with some of them missing. And in the UK, it only had 6 DVDs. Six episodes on DVD. There are 27 episodes altogether. And we got the tapes digitized, which was a whole thing. But we've more or less done that. There's still some stuff that needs sorting, but we've made some good progress on that, of getting the original master tapes re-digitized so that you can actually play them, because they were on a thing called Digibeta, which is a very old format that you certainly can't play on most devices these days. But anyway, we got them digitized and they look lovely. You know, they look so much better than they used to on DVD, or indeed when originally broadcast. I've de-interlaced them using AI, a thing called QTGMC. And anyway, it's looking lovely, looking fab, and I've got some jobs that I need to do with it, because the plan is I'm going to get them all up on YouTube, and we're going to release them weekly as premieres, and make it into a bit of a thing if we can, you know, and hopefully build the channel up to a point where it can be in the partner program, and then hopefully pay back some of the costs for digitizing it, and then keep me, you know, paying the bills and everything. So that's the plan. And today I've already done and processed the first 4 episodes. I've got episodes 5, 6, and 7 to do. The rest of them aren't yet. Well, there's some stuff to decide about whether we're going to use the current version of the tapes or get it redone with, like, higher bitrate and stuff, because there was some confusion over that. But definitely the first 7 are good to go. So I've got to digitize 5, 6, and 7. We'll be running it through Resolve, exporting it. Got to crop it down, get rid of black bars on the side, and, you know, overscan and things. Make it look as nice and professional looking as we can. It's very satisfying, making them all look nice and clean, because the idea is this will be like the archive of the episodes, like, for future going forward. It'll be like, this is a definitive version, sort of saved forever. So yeah, it's a very satisfying thing to be doing. I will do the Make Me Sing in a bit, Who Will Blame Me, but it will rather derail my sort of opening explanation if I launch into a song at this point. But I will, bear with me. Yes, Sacrilegious, hence my old username, Treacle Man. That's why I used to be Treacle Man, was because of the Treacle People, which was the show. So yeah, but then obviously, and then I went through, and it was Mythisia77 for a bit, and now I'm Joseph Russell because it's my name and it's a much better sort of general brand thing. But yes, that is the explanation for Treacle Man. But yeah, I've got to do that, and I'm also making a trailer. I have recorded audio for a trailer for it, but we need to cut together footage, and I'm just going to cut it together from the first 7 episodes because they're the highest quality at the moment. So I have talked about that before. That's not new lore, but it's lore I haven't spoken about in a while. But yeah, I'm going to cut together bits of those first 7 episodes to make a trailer as well, sync it to the audio, and we can try and put that together too, and we'll see how far we get in this session. I've no idea whether my graphics card's going to be able to cope exporting the video and streaming at the same time. We're going to try it. If it won't work, that's fine. We'll just focus on the trailer and we won't try and export the episodes on stream. But we're going to figure it out as we go, and it's going to be fantabuloso. It's gonna be treacle-tastic. No, that doesn't work. We're not gonna do that again. But yes, hello, Layla Baylor. Glad you're here before class. Don't be watching me during class, but I'm glad to have you here before class. Do you know, actually, there's me saying I'll do the song Who Will Blame Me. Tale of the Tongues is so difficult, because every line is different to the previous line. It's really tricky. I can do some of it, and I'll do some of it as I get set up. It's like, Alduin's wings, they did darken the sky. His raw fury's fire and his scales sharpened scythes. Men ran and they cowered and they fought and they died. They burned and they bled as they issued their cries. We need saviors to free us from Alduin's rage. Heroes on the field of this new war to wage. And if Alduin wins, man is gone from this world, lost in the shadow of the black wings unfold. I might have skipped a bit. And so came the tongues on that terrible day. Steadfast as winter they entered the fray, and all heard the music of Alduin's doom. Sweet song of Skyrim, sky-shattering Thuum. What happens next? How does it go next? I've forgotten. It's nearly the end. Oh! I've mixed it up. I've mixed up two verses. But anyway, ignore that bit. Skip ahead to the end. If Alduin's eternal, then eternity's done. For his story is over, and the dragons are gone. Dovahkiin, alokzin los varin, vadain vokul mafarakast val, ak vinorok palgran, fod nos honzin drozan, Dovahkiin fahin kogan mudral. Bonus bit of Dovahzul for you. Right, okay. Anyway, digitization of Treacle People and everything. I don't know Sophia, I'm afraid. I've only played with the mod a tiny bit, Child of Corn, so I'm afraid I don't know her songs. Just to be clear who will blame me, the Skyrim theme is not Maluka. Maluka covered it, but the Dovahzul lyrics for that aren't Maluka, they are Bethesda. Could you type it out and I could sing it? I could try. If you type it out, I can make up a tune for it. Sure. Right, I'm getting Resolve opened up. Let me know if the stream all freezes or anything funky like that. Oh yeah, obviously in keeping with the rules of the stream and everything, if it is risque or anything, then obviously I won't sing it. But you know that already. Right. Let me switch to screen with camera and you can see what I'm doing. Whee! So here we are in Resolve. I'm just starting from the template of episode 4. We're going to go episode 5. And save. Here's Tiny Lucien helping me as ever. Shout out from Ninja to Nuna and Bard, who have been so very helpful with keeping... Oh, it's gone. I don't want to see weekly top... Here we are. Right, okay, hang on. Who've been so very helpful with keeping Ninja's head on straight while they've been worrying about packing, and also for helping them realize they've so much more modding work they need to do than they thought. Nuna and Bard, both good eggs. Right. So. Oh, just to play the theme tune for you guys. Just because it's really catchy. See if this will work. Hang on. Treacle, 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 treacle. We are the Treacle People. We sing treacle high and low. We are the Treacle People. We all live in Giggle Row. Where a whistle said the day is treacle, trackle, and away to sing the treacle far below. Down to the mighty goal. Treacle, treacle, treacle. We are the Treacle People. We sing treacle high and low. Last time, the treacle mills of Sabden roared into life, then all but roared out of it again with... Anyway, there we go. It's good, right? Shout out from Lost to Lost for being told they must take today and tomorrow off because for the first time in their life, they've developed a reputation for working through being sick. Wow. Yes, very important to take time off when you're sick. Otherwise, you'll make yourself sicker. And you'll give your sick to other people. No, good. Well done taking time off. Anyway, so actually this is one massive file that contains all 7 episodes. I mean, the file sizes are huge because we're doing this at a really high bit rate. Because, as I say, the intention is to try and make it this sort of like a archival, permanent record version. And since that's the plan, I want it to be as high quality as it can possibly be. So that it's the definitive version that we never have to touch again. Let's just rearrange this a little bit. It's all looking a bit funky. Because I was doing this in 1440p. And now I'm doing this on a 1080p screen. Do you remember more, Ninja? Oh, that's so fun. I either didn't realise I had forgotten that you actually knew the show from years ago. But that's so cool. Anyway, so... I'm going to take this and I'm going to extend it to the next episode. And back from the start. Ah, if you had a VHS recording, yeah. When you pause it and it goes. Anyway. So let's go and find the start point. There. I want that frame where it lights up. There we go. So I'll cut that. Delete this first bit. Treacle, treacle. Very good. Let's find the end. LWT, yeah. London Weekend Television. This was 1997, 1996. 1996 was Series 1 and 97 was Series 2. So this was just before I was born that this was made. Now, hang on. That's interesting. Because I want to cut this card. I just want this LWT card, but I don't want that one. But the sound carries on. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to unsync the audio with the video so that I can find the last frame there and I can cut that off, but I can keep the sound track underneath. Bring that back in. Then I'll get my Fire Mountain Productions card wherever I put that, because this wasn't on the original recordings. It was on the DVDs, but we want this ident at the end because Fire Mountain Productions is my dad's company. There we go. You went to some recordings at LWT. That's so fun. Do. What did I say when, Ninja? I don't know what I said. Probably wasn't very interesting. Anyway, So I'll let the sound carry on in the background and I'll fade it from there, even though it's technically cut out, just to make it smooth as possible in case there's any background noise. But there we go. And then that, if I play from there. Down to the mines we go, treacle, treacle, treacle. We are the treacle people, we seek treacle high and low. There we go. Yeah, I'd say that looks pretty good. Smashing. Now, the last thing I need to do... This was very speedy. This is good. But what I need to do... Oh, all I said, I think, was how when you used to pause things in VHS, that you go like... It was pauses like that. It never quite pauses properly. That was always my memory of it. You remember being in the audience of the telethon, and because you were a tiny child, they made sure you were at the front and got on camera going bananas with excitement. That's so fun! Down to the mines we go. Anyway, so yes, so the last thing is the aspect ratio. So I've got these all written down on a piece of paper. It is written on a piece of paper in my pocket. If I can find a piece of paper. I have too many pieces of paper. Here we are. Right. No, that's not it. There it is. Yes, so Pratchett's Treacle mine and the Treacle people come from the same source. So there's been this, not a myth, because it's deliberately known to be made up, but there's been this tradition of pretending that treacle is mined in certain parts of the UK for many, many years. There's a town called Sabden, which is what this series was based on this original idea that the treacle was mined, and it was the Dewhurst family who created the concept of the Treacle People. But I'm sure that's where Terry Pratchett also got the idea. You know, it's from the same concept of treacle being mined. So yeah, these are two derivations from the same sort of source material, as it were. Incidentally, Terry Pratchett's sense of humour is very similar to the sense of humour used in the Treacle People, which is Brian and Jonathan Truman, who wrote this. But they're very similar kind of nonsense sense of humour. Let's not get into discussions with the moderators, please, Child of Corn. Let's not start getting into... Let's all just get along, yeah? Rather than questioning things and everything. Makes my life an awful lot easier if we do it that way. Where's my calculator? Oh, it's over there. Okay, so the full shot is 1536 by 1152. But as you can see, when I put it out like that, we have these black bars on the side, and this we think is overscan. So the actual bit of the shot that would appear on TV would be a indeterminate middle bit of this shot, which would vary depending on people's sets and how bright it was. You know, it was back in the days of CRT TV sets. You know, it was very vague. So I've got to cut this off, but I've got to cut it off at the right point. And you can see here, look at this. Look at this shot here. So originally our black bar is there. But if I move on to this shot here, see how it moves? The black bar jumps in. So I need to be careful about where I cut this. Crop this so that it covers this black bar as well as this, because I don't want a bit of black bar jumping into the side of the shot when we get to this point. There's also some slight distortion by the edge of it, but I think it's okay. It's not as bad as it is on some... Look, there's a very faint line there, but it doesn't really remain for other shots. So I don't think it's worth me cutting that out. See, look how it jumps back and forward lots. I don't think it's worth me cutting out any further than the edge of this black line, because it's only a very minor thing, and otherwise you're losing information. Basically, I want to crop it. I want to keep it as wide and tall a shot as possible to retain as much of the original information as possible without having any noticeable distracting visual artifacts. So let's find this bit where it's at its widest. Oh, zoom in a bit so I can more easily refine the spot. We go to project settings, and what should we bring this in by? This sort of varies from episode to episode, so I have to recrop each episode to make them as wide as I possibly can. I could, of course, just cut them all to the size of the narrowest episode, but I don't really want to do that. You know, I'd like to retain as much of each episode as I can for, you know, posterity. So let's try cutting this down to a 1500 pixel wide shot. You can see how that's taken a good chunk out of the black, but we've still got some. I hate it how Resolve does this. Occasionally just turn... No! Oh, it's because I moused over something, isn't it? What did I mouse over that makes that disappear? There! If I mouse over that, it disappears. That's good to know. I'll just avoid doing that. File, project settings. Let's make it a bit tighter. Let's go for 1490. Let's take off another 10 pixels. See how that looks? Bit more. What is treacle? It's a syrupy substance, very sugary, sweet, sort of gooey, sticky, very similar to golden syrup. And it's used in making treacle toffee, treacle cakes, parkin. There we go. Right, that's cut that off. It is darker and thicker than golden syrup, yeah. It's funny, it's the whole premise of the show, but to be honest, I'm not that clear either, really. There we go. That looks quite nice now, cropped in like that. Don't think we've got any other visual artifacts showing up on the edge there. Let's just add in another couple of pixels just to see that we are actually up to the edge. Let's say 1482. Yeah, we have still got some black bleeding in when I have 1482. So we'll do 1480. And if I keep it at that, there we go. It's a nice tight edge to the shot. Nice and sharp. Very good. Let's have a look at the verticals. Now, the vertical has this black half line along the bottom, but we have to ignore that because the limit on the vertical... Sorry, I'm just monologuing. I don't know if this is remotely interesting to anyone, but the limiting factor on how tall the shot can be is actually this VFX here, where the title, The Treacle People, comes up. You have the dripping, because it does this, you know, the text drips. But you can see the visual effect for that is only actually rendered down to this height here. So therefore I should crop the shot so that it looks, because the intention here is obviously that it looks like the treacle is dripping off the screen. So therefore I should crop there. That is true, Major Risk, I did say that. I made no promises. Though I do hope this is sort of interesting. I do try to stream things that are sort of interesting. Let's take 10 pixels off the bottom and see how that looks. Oh, actually, I know the height that this should be, because I worked it out before. Because it's the same as the other ones. 1132. But let's just double check it. If I go 1134... Yeah, you see you have a tiny, tiny pixel at the edge there of white. So we'll take one more pixel off. Well, one more pair of pixels. You always do even numbers. So we'll go 1132 again. No, that's 1133. We can't have an odd number. That upsets everything. There we go. Right, so that is now, I think, ready to export. We've cropped it as tight as we can. It's zoomed to 2.133 by 2. Has to be above 720p for YouTube to process it properly. Otherwise it gets confused. It doesn't get confused, it'll limit it to 25 FPS, whereas there are some shots here that are actually at 50 FPS, and I want to retain them. So yeah, there we go. Let's just check the opening again. Watching the edges to see if there's any artifacts coming in. are the Treacle People. We all live in Euro. We're as us every day. Treacle, treacle, let the way. Streams of treacle far below. Down to the mines we go. Treacle, treacle, treacle. I'd say this is looking pretty good. It's lovely in HD.
Last time.
That's the having it redigitized from the masters. Out the way, Tiny Lucien. Right, so we can export this now. I'll just put it on my D drive. Treacle People Remastered E5. Now, this is the bit where it might all go horribly wrong. I don't know how my graphics card will cope with streaming and exporting at the same time. I'm going to try it, and please tell me in the chat if it all goes wonky, and if it does, I'll abort mission. I'm going to do this on a very high, very slow, high quality. Yeah. Right, I'm going to press the button. You ready? Let's see what happens. Okay, it's doing it at a lower frame rate than normal, so that to me implies that the stream is slowing the export down. Hopefully not the other way around. Looks like the stream is taking higher priority than the export. But what do you think? Have I gone all framey? Or is it still working? Is the stream still fine? Hello? Is it good? I'm good. Okay, good. Hope you enjoyed my little dance. You see here a very quick summary of the episode. I look fine, yeah. So I've scheduled episode 1, extra sticky edition, that's what I've called it. I've scheduled episode 1 for the 18th of March. And I put that as a premiere. So that's how I'm going to be doing it. And it'll be lovely, because it is a very good show, genuinely. I know I'm biased, but it's really funny and I love it. And it'll be lovely if any of you who are around on the 18th of March, 5 p.m. UK time, could show up and watch it with. That would be really nice. Because I want to try and build it up into a thing, you know, so the views and everything would be really appreciated. And grab you a link to pop in the chat if you're interested. There you go. I need subscribers and I need views. So yeah, that would be fab. But it's not a big deal, you know, if you're not fussed, that's okay. But I don't think you'll regret it. It is funny. It's my sense of humour. If you find Lucien funny, it's the same thing. Right, this will take another minute. 4 minutes 50 to export. So in the meantime, I'm also subtitling this stuff. And I've actually already subtitled the version, because there are some old versions of the episodes. Not great quality, but they're here. And I've subtitled these. So I can copy the text to my new version. Which is... Here we are, Treacle People Remastered E2. This is what we want. Duplicate and edit. And I'm going to replace all this with the new one. I'll publish that. And it'll take a minute to sync. So while it's doing that, I'll get the next one. Because I did it for episode 3 as well. There we go. Okay, back. Look at all these various versions of things I've been doing. But yeah, here we are. Duplicate and edit. We'll add some subs for this one. And get rid of those. Because I'm all about subs now. We want to have subtitles on things. Accessibility. It's important. Okay, that's still generating the times for that. So I'll leave that where it is. I've got here the Treacle People theme. That could do with some subs as well. So I'll just grab that from my episode 1. Oh, hang on. It doesn't have it, of course. We want episode Let's grab episode 2. Because episode 1 doesn't actually open with the theme music. Because it's like a pilot. But episode 2 does have it, so let's just grab that. I've actually been writing the subtitles for these with the help of the original scripts. Because they have some of the characters have thick northern accents. And sometimes they say things like, "He's been looking for a new treacle seam since before the Rose of Cleckheaton Festival." And I'm like, what? What? Before the Rose of Cleckheaton Festival? What? And I'm like Googling. It turns out Cleckheaton Festival is a thing. Before the Rose of it? I don't know. But I looked it up in the script and it's Rose, R-O-S-E, of Cleckheaton Festival. I don't know what that means. But it's in the subtitle now, so you can see what you know, what the intention is. Because then maybe the viewer can have a better idea of what it's actually supposed to say than me. But, or as someone says, "What the Ballymacrae?" Don't know what that means. Again, taken it out of subtitles. Taken it out of the script, I mean, for the subs. What? This is what YouTube auto subs have decided the lyrics are to the theme tune. Twinkle, twinkle, little. Treacle, treacle, treacle. I can kind of see it. Treacle, treacle, treacle. Could be twinkle, twinkle, and then it's trying to be logical, maybe little. And then it gives up and says music. Anyway, no, it's this. But good try, YouTube. Good try. And this is why YouTube's auto-generated subs are not good enough. And why it's important, why I've been going through all the episodes of everything of my own stuff to add proper subtitles. And Noon has been helping me out with that, which is amazing. Because, yeah, the automated ones are just not fit for purpose. So anyway, this is nearly finished generating. Fantabaroony. Lovely. Right, let's do episode 6. That would be amazing, Nuna, but absolutely no pressure as ever. Whenever/if ever you feel like doing it, it's wonderful. But please don't ever feel like you're locked into having to do it or anything like that. So long as you want to do the thing, I'm immensely grateful. But yeah. Yeah, let's take that and pop that over there. Oh no, I did it wrong. Just pop it a long way over to the side so I don't accidentally overwrite it. Then we'll take that down. No, we need to sync the audio with the music again. Right, audio with the music, audio with the visuals again. Stretch that out so we can see the audio waveform. And we have here episode 6. I'm a bit concerned by that in-out thing. Did it actually export the right file? "10 minutes, 1 second. Let's just check it. Yeah, it did export the whole thing. Okay, good. Good. That's fine then. Rose of Miskatonic, you've looked it up. Rose of Cleckheaton, probably a reference to the town's main pub called the Rose and Crown. It's still a very weird thing to say. But thank you. Maybe that sheds some light on it. That's Brian Truman for you. Right. We'll start again. There we go. Do a little fade in here. And we go to the end. Now this time the sound properly does disappear before we cut to the other LWT. So I'll take the last frame of this. Cut all that off. Add a little bit of fade again to there, just in case there is any leftover sound. I don't think there will be. And then we're going to grab the Fire Mountain logo, drag that back. Sandwich that on the end there. There we go. And yep, let's just check the boundaries again. DaVinci is in DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, I always use Resolve for all my editing, and it does very well for me. This is actually the paid version, but I used the free version for years, and it was absolutely fine. You know, it's great. I think I would personally say, because I tried a few of them, I'd say DaVinci Resolve is my favorite free editing software. You might have better luck with Final Cut Pro or something if you're willing to pay, I don't know. But the features that I wanted that were in the paid version of Resolve specifically were exporting using my graphics card rather than my CPU. If you get the paid version, you can go encoder NVIDIA. So much faster. To be honest, that's it. I think there are quite a few other features it also adds, but I don't use any of them. But yeah, apart from that, it's very good. It's very good software, I'd say. I've still only barely used it. I mean, you know, there's a whole loads of stuff you can do with color that I've barely scratched the surface of, adding effects and things I don't really do. But it certainly does the job for me. Anyway, I was gonna, do the boundaries. So we'll just open it up again and just check. One 152 by 1536. Yep. And we'll go back to the Treacle logo and just confirm that it is in fact the same vertical limit. Vertical limit, man! That's a movie, isn't it? Ooh, oh no, it does still cut off. I thought for a moment this one didn't. So we'll just crop it down to that. Now I'm going to go 1134 again just to check. I'm just making sure with this because I really don't want to cut off anything we don't need to cut off. Yeah, I use Audacity for some of my music processing, particularly for normalizing audio files. I say music, audio processing, you know, when I've recorded lines for Lucien and stuff, and I use Audacity to normalize those files. Really handy for that. Generally, batch operations, Audacity is great for, and it does work well as a standard audio editor. I don't use it for that because I use Cubase. But people do use Audacity for all their audio editing and are very positive about it generally. So yeah, it's worth getting if you're doing anything with audio. Right, let's crop off these black borders again. Let's just do a scan through. Yeah, you see how the border gets wider again here? And there is actually quite a significant bit of distortion at the edge of it. So this one we're going to have to cut narrower than we did the other ones. Because I want to cut it to get rid of this black line as well as that one. So, I hate it how it does that. File. Let's go project settings. I could do that with Shift and 9, couldn't I? We're going to have to take out quite a lot. So, where's my piece of paper? Here we are. Let's try 1480 like we just did. And see where that gets us. It's not bad. We need a little bit more, I reckon. Yeah, because we've got a little bit of black lineage going on in places. Just a little bit, not much. Or maybe we can get away without. Actually. It is there occasionally, but it's so minimal. And it's not there in a lot of the shots. Again, it's probably worth just keeping the wider shot and letting it go. Hey, Sam! How are you doing? Yes, we are the Treacle People. Oh look, there's some distortion on the left there. Is that, if that's there a lot, that's a large chunk of a shot to crop out. I prefer not to lose that much. Oh, but it is there. It's not so, oh yeah, and there. Yeah, no, that's got to go. Okay. Let's go for 1470. Let's take 10 pixels off, see how that looks. Okay, take some more off. Ah, damn it. Let's try 1460. I don't like cropping it this narrow. But, that is still a visible black line at the edge. So, we're going to have to crop some more. This will be the narrowest one yet. But it's still wider than it would have been on TV when it was originally broadcast, so it's not the end of the world. What about 5.0? Yeah, it's gone for 5.0. I might reintroduce a little bit, see if it creeps on. Let's try 1254. I think that's okay. I think we can get away with 5.4. What if I try 5.6? No, 5.6 definitely has the line visible. So let's go 1.54. Sorry, I've no idea whether it's clear what I'm doing. Or again, whether it's interesting. But anyway. I don't know whether... Could you guys even see that line? Does it even show up on the stream? Probably not. Resolution's probably too low. But I just really want this to look as slick and professional as it can. Yeah. Okay, that's looking good now. Okay. And we'll let it run to the end. And... anything else going on? No, and that's in stereo as it should be. Okay, this is episode 6. Good to go then. Just checking that that's not being weird with me. No, that's fine. Okay, good. Yeah, the stream res is 720p. It'll obviously be higher def when I upload it on my YouTube channel. But it'll be in 1440 then. But I'm glad you can see. Important that you can see what I'm doing. Otherwise, there's not much point in us doing this. Okay, right, let's export this then. So this is going to be Treacle People. Remastered. E6. Hi back, I'm Joseph. Remastered E6. Yeah, very slow. Add to render queue. Render all. There we go. Again, let me know if it all goes wobbly. But that's looking good. Okay, I think this is probably a good time for a break while this runs. I'm going to have a quick break. I'll run some ads rather than the break that will come up in 10 minutes. We might as well take it now. So, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back in 5 minutes or so. Okay? Cool. See you shortly. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Hang on. So if you think the Treacle People theme is catchy, right? Have a listen to this. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Sorry, I hyped that up too much when I didn't have it ready. Give me a sec. Give me another sec. It's not loading! Why aren't you loading? Most frustrating thing in the world. Shout out from Word Vagabond to Mouse Lucien, who has survived babyhood and is thriving in a large new enclosure with his pal Biscuit. That's so nice. Oh dear. Windows Explorer has just crashed. That's probably a bad sign. Hope the stream's still working. What's happening? Okay, good. I'm glad. Thank you for letting me know, R. Silver Walker. Yeah, I don't have any files now. But, Oh, we're back. Okay, it's re-alived. Right, here we are. It's the French dub!
Dans le dernier épisode, nos 4 héros ont découvert une nouvelle mine de carbone.
How fun is that? Sorry, I enjoyed that. Nous sommes les Carremoux. And it's the classic dub version kind of thing where the new translated lyrics don't quite fit the meter of the original song, and it's like you know, and nous sommes just like that. Anyway, I wish I could say I had French mastery, Morgan, and I wish you know, and I certainly can't say it comes from that because I only saw Treacle People in French for the first time yesterday. So I do not. Anyway, I'll put you back on screen with camera so you can see what I'm doing, and we'll do some more of this if it'll work. Nous sommes les Carremoux. Carremoux, 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 Carremoux. Anyway, this is the last episode I've got on this file. Let's look for that frame again where it lights up. It's there. That's the one. Nous sommes les Carremoux. These guys are boggarts, by the way. They're treacle-eating boggarts, and I love them. Look at their silly little faces. Anyway, right. My favourite one is called Bert. This is Bert. Look at him! He is such a sweetheart! But the scripts that I've got have his lines translated, because he talks just normally in the show, he just goes... But the scripts have the lines translated, and he's really foul-mouthed. Bless him. Of course, you never actually see that in the show. Right. There you go. That's a boggart noise. Anyway. Let's find the frame where he's gone. Yeah, that's the one we want to cut on. Delete that lot. Grab this. No. Just the Fire Mountain bit. Keramu, Keramu. I've earwormed myself! Self-earworm. Let's fade this echo out a little bit faster. Oh, no. There you go. Makes that nice and smooth. Actually, why do I need to fade the echo out faster? When I can just unlink the clip and extend the audio again. There we go, that's better. And we'll relink them. Okay. That's looking good then. Let's do our check on the borders once more. See, the nice thing about this show, I think, Nuna, is there are jokes in it for grown-ups as well as kids, but they're never nasty and they're never rude or vulgar. And I love that. I'm always a big fan of comedy that doesn't ever punch down or up. It just doesn't punch at all, you know? That's just friendly to everyone. It's just nice like that, you know? So the jokes for grown-ups are along the lines of, there's Father Christmas in it, and at one point he gets a phone call from one of his elves saying, "Oh, it's you, Ethelred. What do you mean you're not ready?" And it's like, whew. Except, of course, Ethelred the Unready, that's a medieval history joke. You know? It's just, who's going to get that? What kids are going to get that? But, oh, we didn't resave this as episode 7. Save for it. No, hang on. Oh, I saved it as episode 6. Oh, darn. Oh, well, that's okay. I can always get episode 6 back if I want it. Anyway, that's what I mean when I say jokes for grown-ups, and that it's never rude, and I think that's nice. Anyway, okay, so let's extend the borders again, and before we crop them back. You would have got that as a kid, Ms. Catonic. Well, you were cleverer than me. 1536 and 1152. Okay, let's find the treacle text again. And file, nope, file, project settings, and I'm going to guess we're going to go 1134 again. Zoom right in. Yeah, there's a tiny bit. So yeah, I guess they're all 1132. I'm sure they are all 1132, but it's just for the sake of taking a few seconds to check. Oh, is that a wider black border? No, it's not. It's just the bit where it's dark at the edge of the shot. Oh, but that is a wider black border there. Right towards the end. So let's get rid of... Ah, darn it. Need to stop mousing over that. Okay, file, project settings. I was also not existent when the show aired. Well, it was still airing when I was young because it was being, you know, repeats and things. It used to be on at like 6 a.m. on Channel 4 before the Hoobs. Anyway. Let's try 1480. See where that gets us. Pretty close. Oh, I did it again. Let's take it out a bit. 1484. Yeah, there's definite black border when we do that. But if I go back to 1480, is the black border completely gone? I think we should take one more. 1478. There we go. Right. There is a little bit of a distortion line. Yeah, that is there. Is it there a lot? Or just in the credits? Oh, there's one there. I don't know where these lines come from. There's one there. Okay, there are a few. So it is worth taking out a bit more. Yeah, there's one there. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's take it up to that point. Do you see it? I don't know whether you guys even see it, but look, if I zoom right in, do you see this line? Here? We want that gone. Oh, unready as in he doesn't listen to his advisors. Oh. Well, that's also relevant because in the scene, Ethelred's not ready because he was told to prepare the sleigh weeks ago and didn't. So in a sense, he didn't listen. But yes, that does sound like a very difficult question to answer, Nuna. Let's try 1474. No, it needs more. 1470. No, it needs more. 1466. Needs more. 1464. We'll take one more. 1462. And it's now gone. The show was in English, French, and Portuguese. We had the option of getting the Portuguese. Well, I've only got 2 episodes of it in French. And the Portuguese dub, I don't have any episodes of. We have them on tape, but it's very expensive digitizing them. And I knew there was just no way we would ever hit 1,000 subscribers on a Portuguese version of the channel. You know, so we would never make that money back. So it seemed not worth it. Oh, there's a black line there. We can take that as well. Like, I'm sure there are people out there who might enjoy it. And yes, as you say, I never know. Maybe the Portuguese people would be really into Treacle. But it's a lot of money to risk on that gamble. You know? So, we've not done it. But if the show becomes a massive success in English, it might suddenly have more of a budget to do that kind of thing. But, not right now. I don't know the difference. Kitnip, so I can't tell you. It's some variant of Portuguese. I don't speak Portuguese and I haven't listened or haven't seen the tapes, so I don't know. Anyway, right, that's looking good to me now. No artifacts creeping in. Nice and good quality. Fire mountain there. Yeah, I'd say that looks good. Let's export that. Treacle. Oh no. Treacle People Remastered E7. Render that one. Right, that'll take a few minutes. Look at them go. Bless. And then that'll be all 7 of the first lot of episodes rendered, which is all the ones I have ready to render at the moment. So then we can spend a little bit of time working on the trailer, if that's of interest. Well, whether or not that's of interest, that's what I'm going to be doing. You can watch if you want. And we'll see where we get to. Let's see if this is done its thing yet. If we do the theme, sync this up, because I'm hoping to release this theme like next week. So I'll combine all these into one line. That's where Treacle goes up to. Go from there. Yeah, the Treacle people, we seek Treacle high and low. That can go there. We are the Treacle people, we all live in Jiggle Row. And then we'll go to there. Merry whistle save the day. Treacle Treacle led the way to seams of treacle. Spoilers for the first episode here. Can I not combine that? Led the way to seams of treacle far below. Interesting Portuguese facts in the chat. Down to the mines we go, Treacle. And then these will combine again. Treacle, Treacle. And that's where Treacle starts. Treacle, Treacle, Treacle. That is a moo bark, by the way. A cross between a Frisian cow and I think an Alsatian. Treacle, Treacle. We are the Treacle people. We see Treacle high and low. There we go. Done. A moo bark, yes. That is what it's called, a moo bark. It goes moo. Definitely a real animal. Let's do the same thing just while we're waiting for this to finish processing. Let's do the same thing. Oh, that's still generating timings. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, but at least we've done that now. We've got E1, E2, E3, E4. I love it too. This is an issue with the season 2 episodes, which is that the season 2 episodes that we've got are overexposed. Do you see? It's just too bright. This is when they've been digitized from the tapes and something's obviously gone wrong in the process. Because it's just too bright. And I've tried correcting it in Resolve and I can correct the brightness. But the problem is there's been information loss. So anything that's a light grey is now just the same as white. And when I try and turn it down to make the things that are too bright back to being sort of light grey, you lose the bits that are meant to be white. Like the highlights on this text treacle. And that's because it's been like clipped off. It's been made too bright and then clipped off. So we can't use this footage really annoyingly. But I'm looking into seeing if we can get, if we've got a backup version of the tape, we could try digitizing from. But failing that, I'll fall back on the Australian DVDs that I have here. They're not as high quality as it is going from the original tape, but it's still, you know, it's still good if I do a high quality rip of it. But, yeah. It's just frustrating that, having gone through the process of getting it digitized. The Australian DVDs has become quite the operation. It has been quite the operation. It's been a little bit of a project for the last couple of months. I have acquired 1 copy of all the DVDs that were released, which is the 1 in British DVD and the 2 Australian DVDs. Got each of those. So I can compare the quality on the different versions and make sure we're getting the very highest version, very highest quality version. Again, not that viewers watching this are going to particularly care about the quality. It's more point of principle that if we're retaining it forever, and this is like the definitive archival version, we want it to look as good as it possibly can. Retain as much of that information, that visual information, as is possible. And yes, I'm cropping out the borders here to get rid of those distortions, but I'm also holding on to the raw files on a hard drive here. So if in the future technology, I don't know, there's ever some kind of technology that would allow it to be easily remove those sort of edge bits and make them look better, we could always reprocess it. Look at the boggarts reading their newspapers, and scrunching up into balls and disappearing. I'm not quite sure what the premise is here. Anyway, there we go. That's nearly done. There we go, done. Fabulous. So let's do the trailer now. So if I close this and we'll reopen Resolve. Oh, Infinite Josephs. Seems a treacle far below, down to the mines we go. Treacle, treacle, treacle. Are you learning things from this, Word Vagabond? I don't feel like these are going to be very useful skills for you unless you ever find yourself digitizing old episodes of something. But yeah, Sam. So I've looked into upscaling. What I've done is, because it needs to be above 720p for YouTube to keep it at 50 FPS, I am using Resolve's upscaling. Which is a little bit of edge detection, neural networky kind of thing to stretch it out, to do it in high quality. So it is effectively upscaled, and I'm upscaling it by exactly 2, because multiplying by an integer is always better for retaining the original image quality. So I'm doing that, but NVIDIA have actually, so this is a cool thing I found out, NVIDIA are, in their latest graphics cards, are releasing this technology which will upscale for you old videos you're watching on YouTube. So with when they've released this update for the 300 and 400 series graphics cards, people who, if you go onto YouTube and you click on a 360p video, it will upscale it potentially up to 4K for you. And I think that's really cool. So if that's happening on the user end, I think it's better for like future-proofing and longevity for me to only do minimal upscaling on my end in order to make YouTube process it properly, and then leave any further upscaling to the user, you know, for them to do that themselves. Because that technology will continue to improve over the next 10, 20 years. You know, there will be progress in upscaling. Whereas if I lock in my current version of upscaling, then it's only as good as the current technology is now, which is, to be honest, not that good. When you look at the results from AI upscaling right now, it's not the most awesome. Now, what's going on here? Did I mess up saving this? Where's my audio? I swear I just saw it. Oh, there it is. Right. So this is what I'm working with at the moment. I might do some retakes of this sound. That's true, Kitnip. But I assume the technology will continue to improve over following years. And ultimately, it's interpolating between pixels. So it's not gonna... It's going to improve the visual appearance when you have that kind of upscaling, but it's never going to make up its own new information, right? It's only interpolating based on existing information that's already there. So I can't see it being a problem. Like, it's not going to create a false image or anything. It's just basically applying a filter on the image you're already looking at. And actually, every screen does upscaling anyway. This is a thing I'd never really appreciated before. When you're watching this video right now, this is going out in 720p, but if you're not watching it on a 720p screen, you're seeing some upscaling happening. If you're watching this on a 1080p screen, it's being stretched, but it's not literally just going in on each pixel and taking that pixel and stretching it out so that pixel just appears twice or whatever. If you're watching it, say you're watching it at 1440, so double resolution, you're not going to see each pixel twice. If you were to zoom in, it's not just block, 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 block. It's doing interpolation already. There's filtering. So when you zoom in to a blurry video, something that's at a lower resolution, it blurs, right? It doesn't turn into blocks. It becomes it's sort of blurry, fuzzy image. And that's because it's doing a form of upscaling. So you have to have some form of upscaling at any point when you show, well, they always do it. Unless your screen is an integer multiple of the video you're trying to watch, you could in theory do it. But even then, you still find your screens and YouTube and things will still by default upscale it. It's a setting you have to specifically enable if you're trying to export a video at double resolution and you want to make it not upscale. You do nearest neighbors. And then it will just copy each block. And it looks completely different to how it looks if you play like a 480p video or something on your screen. So that's interesting. Anyway, this is the trailer how I've currently got it. There's no visuals, it's just the audio, but I need to add visuals to this. That's the job now.
It's the Treacle People! Celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube. Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you've seen all day. Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 p.m. UK time for more glutinous episodes. Subscribe now.
Now, listening to that as it is, that music track is too loud. Makes it harder to hear the original text. So let's bump that down by a little jot.
It's the Treacle People! Celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube. Packed full of nonsense for both...
Let's go a little bit more.
It's the Treacle People! Celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube. Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you've seen all day. Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 p.m. UK time for more glutinous episodes. Subscribe now.
See, that sounds better with that level. So yeah, we need some visuals. So we're going to drag it in. Oh, please do be hyper-focused on the show, Layla Baylor. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want people to watch the trailer and then want to watch the show. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, if you're all sold on the show... Oh no, hang on. That's the lyrics. Let me get you the link again, because I want you all to subscribe to the channel, because I want you all to watch when it goes live. There. Go on that. Subscribe to the channel. Click notify on the episode. Then you'll see it when it comes out. We're releasing it in like 2 weeks' time. Now, of course, one thing is, when I recorded this the first time round, it was going to be, we were targeting a week earlier. We've delayed by a week since then. So it's no longer going to be the 9,089-day anniversary. It's going to be the 9,096-day anniversary. So I do need to re-record that bit. But I can still put the visuals together and then just do that re-recording a bit later. But I need to remember to do that. We've got to be correct, you know. Celebrating its 9,099.96, whatever it, I need to work it out, but yeah. I tried to write it with the same sense of humor that the show has. So, right, let's get the video track, which is in SSD videos. I want the... Oh, I've got episodes 1 to 6 and 7 as 2 separate files. I forgot about that. So let's just close there. We'll shrink that down. There's one. There's the other lot. This is what we're working with. Oh, no. I've done that wrong. I need to put them in there because I need to sort out their sound. Here, these are the two ones we're doing. And I don't know whether I'll use the sound very much. Oh, have we hit 300 subs? Yay! We were on 296 for several days. Thank you. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for pushing us over. I just need to convert this so that it runs in stereo rather than mono. So I want this to be a stereo track with channels 1 and 2. And I'm actually going to delete channels 3 and 4 from this. I don't want them. And then same goes for this one. Clip attributes. Let's make that stereo. And we'll delete channels 3 and 4. Channels 3 and 4 are the sound effects without the dub, without the voices. And the purpose of that is sending it off to international, you know, distributors who might want to dub it. It allows them to dub over the top. Anyway. Oh, awesome! You guys are so supportive. Thank you. Thank you for supporting this project. I do really want it to be a success. To be honest, I worked quite hard to convince my dad to do it and to let me handle it. So kind of it'll be quite embarrassing if I fall flat on my face and it doesn't get any viewers. But yeah. Right. I want to start the trailer with the original opening because people who know the show will expect that. I'm going to cut the sound from this version. We'll just take that. That would be awesome, Nuna. Yeah, there's not tons of point sharing it too much now because obviously the premiere isn't there yet. But you can certainly subscribe and, you know, sign up for the notifications and everything for when it does come out. But yeah, right, okay. If I take that to there. Now I've got to try and sync this up, of course.
It's the Treacle People! Celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube! Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you see all day! Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 PM UK time for more glutinous episodes! Subscribe now!
Okay, so I'll use that as my basis. And I can keep cutting back to that as and when I need. But I'd like to fill it out, interpose, you know, various bits with shots from the actual series.
It's the Treacle!
But I should keep the treacle. Treacle with Bert. And that's probably where I'll cut. And then I'll see if I can find an ensemble shot to start with, showing all the Treacle people. That's probably sensible. So where might I find one of those? I love how it plays the sound as I pan through like that. There is an ensemble shot. Oh, there's them crashing through the wall at the end of episode 2. There's this shot.
What you and I should do is...
You can't see very well. Nah. You can't see it well enough, really. You can only see like one of them with that shot. that doesn't work super well. Let's see if I can find another shot to use instead. I basically want them all just standing in a row. I don't think that ever actually happens in the series, but I want as many of them standing in a row as I can. Oh, by the way, some of you have seen this. Cthulhu noticed it before. This is Professor Bane's pilling. Now, he was a favourite character of my tiny infant brain, tiny toddler Joseph brain, and just listen to him speak.
Why they developed the long snout, while the suction-powered paws... I do beg your pardon. Enable to walk across tunnel ceilings to reach treacle nuggets from the roof.
Hello there, my name is Lucien Flavius. That was never intentional. But there is a lot of it there, right? I'm sure there must be a subconscious link. That all cooking away in the back, that voice cooking away in the back of my brain for years and years and years and years. And then one day just coming out of my mouth when I'm recording my character. I'm sure it must be. It wasn't intentional. I didn't have Professor Bane's pilling in my head at any point while I was recording Lucien. But listening back to it, I'm like, that must be where it's come from. Anyway. The frustrating thing is, I don't know who voices this man. Because in the end credits, and on IMDb and everywhere, at no point does it list which character is played by which person. It just lists the character, just lists the names of the actors.
Viewers get time, or will Bert and Nico keep going up in the world? All will be revealed in the next grippingly glutinous episode of The Treacle People.
Here. So I know he's voiced by one of Alec Bragonzi, Jim McManus, or Glyn Mills. I'm pretty sure it's not Jim Norton, because Jim Norton is Irish, and there's an Irish character in the show. Unless Jim Norton is putting on an accent for this guy. But I don't think it's Jim Norton. So, like, it's one of these three. But I don't know. I'd love to find out. My dad might know. If I ask him, he can probably tell me who's who. It's worth knowing, actually, for the future when I'm writing the copy for all this. Yeah, no. I had a similar thing, not with Good Omens, obviously, so much, because I didn't read that one until much later. But all that sort of stuff, it boils away, right? It forms you. This show, Discworld, or any Terry Pratchett, kind of it cooks in your brain and forms your sense of humour. So yeah, anyway, right, let's try and find... Oh, that looked like an ensemble shot, maybe? Nah. Oh, they're standing together there.
I mean, that ill a treat.
Yeah, quite well.
Fairly well.
Not all that well,
Quite badly, really.
if at all.
I haven't seen some of these episodes for years. It does make me chuckle.
We're off.
Oh, that kind of works. I can use that shot for something. Of Bessie setting off there. I won't actually use the audio for it.
All set. Stand back. We're off.
Look at Bert waving his hands. I love that. Okay. And I'll take it just up to that point there. Because that's the full shot. Right, we'll use this. I'll put this in as my opening It's the Treacle People shot for now. And I can always change my mind later if I want to. Oh, I don't want that to override. Let's pop it there, and no, pop it there, and I'll pop it up on a new level. And let's put on lock there. Right.
It's the Treacle People, celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary, the beloved...
Okay, I should...
Celebrating its 9...
Oh, okay, hang on.
It's the Treacle People, celebrating
First,
its
we want him
9,089
leaving. This shot there.
day anniversary, the beloved day anniversary,
I could try. Let's just try it.
It's the
If I put it with It's the Treacle People. What if I go...
it's the Treacle.
No, that's a weird cut.
It's the Treacle People, celebrating its 9,089 day. It's the Treacle People.
Okay, he needs to be in motion when the shot starts, otherwise it's weird. Becomes a weird cut. The Treacle People website is broken, yes. Because Flash is dead. You're right, that's a really good idea. It's one of the jobs I need to do when I've got some time, is try and find the login details for the Treacle People website. It took ages to find the login details for the YouTube channels, which I'm now in. But yeah, somewhere there'll be the information about how to actually get into that website and change it. But it should, you're right, the website, all it needs is to be a splash screen like Treacle People, check out the YouTube channel. I need to set that up.
It's the Treacle People, celebrating its
That kind of works.
It's the Treacle People, It's the Treacle People, celebrating.
Okay. I never have enough projects. Right, okay, there's one shot in about 20 minutes. Let's find another one.
Do you think anyone can like...
Braces will snap.
Oh, here they are, them shouting for help. That's probably a good one as well. If I shout any louder, my braces will snap. I'll just sort of gather the ones I think might be useful and we can cut them together.
The Treacle People, celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary. People, celebrating its...
Now I do need to... I can't cut back there because we're showing Betty there. We can't show Betty again, so I need to at least cover up the bit where Betty's on screen. Hey Regan, welcome to the stream. We are the Treacle People, we seek treacle high and low. We are the Treacle People, we all live in Giggle Row. I love this, by the way. This really made me laugh when I was younger. I'm going to play it for you. So they're stuck down a mine and they need to get out.
I'll take Whistle with me.
When am I gonna learn?
Just because I think this is really
I'll
funny.
stay here with Tapper. We'll try to get a message out. Perhaps some sort of distress signal.
What do you think all that shouting was? Choir practice?
No. We need a sound that will carry through the earth. Aha. Why don't you try banging two rocks together?
Well, why don't you try banging two rocks together?
I provide intellectual guidance. It is for others to execute the tangible implementation.
You mean I get to do the work?
In a nutshell, yes.
Oh, give it here then.
Now, if I remember Morse code, we should be able to tap out SOS by giving 3 short knocks, followed by 3 long knocks.
Professor?
Followed by 3 short here. Yes, what is it?
Just as a matter of interest, how am I supposed to do a long knock?
Well, you take the rock and you... Well, in that case, try 3 short knocks, followed by 3 short knocks, followed by 3 short knocks.
Which spells?
SSS.
Oh, what's that then? Send some sausages? Good idea, I'm starving.
Where do you think...
See, it's just so stupid. I love it. Yeah, the cadence. You're right about the cadence word vagabond. Just that used to make me giggle so much. I would be in hysterics when I was a little toddler with her. Send some sausages, good idea, I'm starving. I sent some sausages, it's so funny. And I'd go around repeating the line because I was a funny line repeater, right? When you're young. I'd say that. to people who heard it before many times, and they'll be like, yes, I know, you've told us this. But it's so funny. SSS.
Yes, try.
Anyway, I don't think I can use that in the trailer. Though I think I will use that as a clip for YouTube Shorts. Because I think it's really funny as a standalone thing. Because that's one of the things I have to do as part of this job, is find some clips, do some YouTube Shorts, promote the show, you know? Build up an audience. Anyway, right. Let's find another good gag. Oh, here's Lil. And PC Pendle. Oh, there's a good shot of Lil at the end. Where is she? Here we are.
From Lil.
There. I want that shot for the trailer. Yeah, TikTok's a good shout, right-hearted, Sam. I will, I'm kind of thinking I'll do them for YouTube Shorts and re-upload to TikTok. Just do both. Because they're functionally the same. I've never really used TikTok, but they're functionally the same thing, right? Isn't that correct? That they're basically the same. I think people will love this. I have loved this show so much for so many years. I really think there's an audience of people who haven't discovered this who'll find this as funny as I always used to. It just needs a platform.
Anyone safe from Lil?
There, it's a short shot, but I just really like it, so I'm going to take that. We'll include that. Ooh! I was thinking of using a different character for the end bit, but I could. I'll try it with this. Let's just try it with Lil. Hang on.
Subscribe now. Subscribe now. Now. Now.
She's just like, do it.
Now.
There's a shot with Uncle Silas I might use instead, but...
Now.
Anyway, I'll definitely use that in the trailer somewhere, because it's a good shot. There's the Moobark. Love him. Hot Cheetos. I've never had a hot Cheeto.
Oh. Rosie and Whistle, you're looking very absent. Hang about, they're not here.
He's got his eyes closed, though. It'll be a good little wave shot.
Evening all. Hello, Lil.
There, actually, that works. Him saluting. I love Pendle.
Evening all.
You're looking very absent. Hang about, they're not it. It's just funny.
Hello, Lil. Hello, Brendan. Evening, Tapper, Prof, and young Rosie and Whistle. You're looking very absent. Hang about, they're not here.
And for this, he did 3 years training.
Anyway, right.
And young Rosie and Whistle.
Let's get the wave as he comes in and says evening all.
Have you brought the milk in? Put the cat out? I know those clogworms settled yet or not?
And will you shut up blathering?
Evening all.
There we are. He does sound familiar. He's not a famous actor or anything. I just think it's a similar cadence to a lot of other characters and actors in comedy shows across the years. There's an element of sort of Dad's Army kind of stuff to it. But yeah, I don't think you're recognizing the specific person. I think it's just the general concept. But I did have that sense as well. How long am I on for tonight? Probably at least another 20 minutes or so. I do want to try and get this trailer done, but also I will need to have dinner, and I also have PhD work to do.
Celebrating its 9,089 day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic.
What's happening there? Oh, okay. He's just on landed on. That's fine.
More clues. Footprints. And more footprints. Heading back where I've come from. So. Over there.
I don't know whether I want that. I could use that shot there of them flying around the corner. It's only a short shot, but it could be useful. Just as a general sort of action shot. See ya, MMX. Thanks for dropping by. Da 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 dun 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 dun.
Celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube. Packed full of...
Potentially use that shot from the middle of the opening theme there. Let's just keep going through collecting interesting shots.
Details. That's what us brilliant detectives work on. Detail.
Could use this. I'll grab this in case I need it. Oh, Bert doing a dance.
Shoo, will you? That thing. Can't
That's good.
Shoo, will you? That thing. Can't you see we're busy?
Come on, Whistle. Give us another one. Detail.
Okay. I'll take that. And I'll also take Pendle doing this.
Details. That's what us brilliant detectives work on.
Just up to there, and I'll grab both of them in one go.
Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly
Yeah, that'll
show
need
promises
cutting
to be the
down, but
best
I can
on
potentially use.
YouTube.
Let's just use the twirl.
YouTube. Packed full of
We'll just take that.
Turns on YouTube.
Oh no, took the wrong bit.
Classic returns on YouTube. Packed full of nonsense for both. YouTube. Packed full of nonsense.
Oh, there's a weird cut there. Hang on. That's where I want to start. So we'll lose that. And then this. Yeah.
Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults.
Maybe I can use... It's not the shot I wanted for that particular bit before, but maybe I can use the shot of them crashing through the wall like this. Just because, again, it's a good action shot. We still have some of these models, by the way. At home, in my dad's office. Here we go. Bert the Boggart is stuck to the ceiling in one of the rooms in my house. Not my house, my parents' house, but yeah.
Deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you see all day.
It's coming together. I'll change all the order and everything. Just feel like once I've got enough footage to fill the time slot, we can then sort of figure out the specifics. Bum 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 bum. No, that's not a great... Oh, this shot though. Bert and Wizzle fighting for a barley sugar pit prop. Here we are.
Wizzle?
Right, I'll take that. Still need a few more yet. But I might just stay on until I finish this, actually, because we are making good progress. Ooh. This is the other guy I was considering using for the end, for the subscribe now thing, Silas.
The 6,000 from last week. Correct. And there's nowhere to put any more. There's only one thing for it. We shall have to mount an expedition.
Oh no, hang on. I want this scene. Scene at the end of episode 3.
I don't know, turn me back for a minute. What on earth is that thing? You two get over here.
Yes, Uncle Silas.
You're fired.
Sorry, Uncle Silas.
What further...
No, not this scene then. I want it in his office.
Chance. Brendan needs help with the ginger beer bottling plant, and you're volunteered.
Oh, we could go and give Brendan a hand at the ginger beer plant.
And you might hear better if you got the treacle out of your ears.
Oh, sorry, Uncle Silas. Maybe if I got the treacle out my ears, I could... Pardon?
Oh, I give up.
Maybe there isn't a shot I want here.
Last chance. Brendan needs help with the ginger beer bottling plant, and you're volunteered.
No. Maybe from earlier in the episode? He's not in his office then, which I thought would have been a good shot. Wanted him leaning over the desk.
Now, have we talked about paying you?
No.
Good. Right. I'd better be off. And you had better be careful.
What?
You can check the quality. Get it?
Got it.
Good.
Excuse me, you...
Melted. The refined tree...
It's a very quotable show. Sorry, I've been doing this for a while. Let's look for... Is there another scene that... I know there's the scene at the start here where he's also in his office.
Which is why they developed the long snout, while the suction-powered paws are full of treacle.
Well, my boots are full of treacle and all.
I do hope they aren't leaking on the Persian rug.
No. Is that a mini Lucien? Yes, this is Tiny Lucien. You can download him from the Nexus if you want.
Recorded in the tunnels, the annals of Sabden as the start of the great export drive. Sabden will become the hub of the world.
See you, Czech. Hope your head feels better soon.
Right. Who wants to buy me a ginger beer?
Oh, that's cute, Regan. Sorry, I know it's weird. I love Lil's outfit. This thing is amazing. I kind of want one. Science happening here.
I know you need time for research, but I need help at the village fete. I can't judge the sawdust platting and the Park and Challenge Cup and the beautiful baby by myself, so you've volunteered.
She didn't win.
Lose.
She didn't win.
I'll judge the Parkin.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
And you can judge the beautiful babies.
Ooh, there could be something here.
Whoops. Windy Puff.
Oh, that's quite cute.
I give you Sabden's most beautiful baby. Most beautiful baby. Whoops.
Let's take a little baby bird.
Whoa! Wow! Whoa! Wow! Thanks, guys. If it
Oh, that's quite a good shot. Hello, hello, hello there, butane boss. Hello, hello, hello. What's going on here then?
Whoa! Wow! Thanks, guys. If it hadn't been for you...
This is a different Thinky Thursday. Yes, you've missed a lot, Butane. I'm making a trailer for a TV show. Incidentally, this episode here, this was lost footage until we did this. This episode was never released on DVD, so it has not been available since it was last broadcast in like 2002. It's just quite pleasing that we'll be releasing that.
Off you go, lad.
See you, Nuna! Could use that shot of them mining there. And maybe the bogger's catching it. Right, let's see where we're at now. I'll put this in a slightly arbitrary order, just to get a general sense of it.
It's the Treacle People! Celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube! Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you see all day! Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 PM UK time for more glutinous episodes! Subscribe now!
Okay, right. So now let's actually put this in a decent order.
It's the Treacle People! Celebrating its 9th... Celebrating... Celebrating its... Celebrating its 9,000... Celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary, its 9,089-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube. Packed full of nonsense.
Oh, that was good timing there. No, I've never heard of that one, Butane.
The beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube. Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and...
we'll take... Oh! Packed full of nonsense for both little ones, and I can use Baby Bert.
Packed full of nonsense for...
9,089th day. It's something like 24 years or something. 25 years, 26 years, something in that. It's not anywhere near a round anniversary. I think it's after 20. We've missed 25 years. So it's like, we're nowhere near an anniversary. I've gone with 9,089 day.
Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults.
Ooh, little ones. Ooh, I could. That actually kind of works there. If I use Lil to represent adults.
Both little ones and... YouTube. Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults. This deeply silly show promises...
24.9 years? We can't actually be close to the anniversary, can we? When did the Treacle People air then? I swear we've skipped it. Days since 3rd of May 1996. No, 26 years, 9 months. Oh, maybe I've mistyped it. Yeah, okay, 9,089 maybe that is 24.9. Days since 3rd of May 1996 is 9,792 to today. So yeah, maybe I went out by a year. Oh, well spotted then, Regan. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, we need to re-record it anyway, because the number of days is wrong. It's just wronger than we thought. 9,792. Days since 3rd of May, 1996. And it's going to be going out on the 25th, 4/11, on the 18th of March. So days between 3rd of May and 18th of March 2023. 9,815. Right. 9,815 day anniversary. I'm going to write that down. I knew we weren't near the 25-year anniversary, because then I'd be planning to do this as a 25th anniversary re-release, but it's not. It's nowhere near. Right. I've already forgotten. 9,815 day anniversary. Celebrating its 9,815 day anniversary. Good, okay. Okay, I'm just in the middle of something right now, but I can... Hang on, you want Itsy Bit? You don't really want me to sing Itsy Bitsy Spider. Do you? Right, let's just have another look at where we're at.
It's the Treacle People, celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary. The beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube. Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you see all day. Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 PM UK time for more glutinous episodes. Subscribe now.
Okay, and we need to still cut that stuff together, but it's making progress. Sing it as Lucien impersonating Inigo. Well, isn't it just
Itsy bitsy spider, I shoot you in the mouth.
Isn't that it? In the UK, we usually sing Incy Wincy Spider, though, rather than Itsy Bitsy.
Look at me, I am a big blue cat. Where are my fleas? Let us go on an adventure, my friend.
Okay, I want to use this shot because it's quite exciting.
And adults, this deeply silly show promises to be packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults. This deeply silly show promises.
Oh, that kind of works as well. Him looking through the magnifying glass. You see these two, and then he puts it down.
To be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you see all day. Probably. Tune in every all day. Probably.
Okay, and then I'll cut there.
Probably. Tune in.
What should we have then? We can't have boggarts again because we just had them. What if I just lose this shot for now? Pop that over there.
Animation you see all day. Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 PM UK time for more.
And then we need the Treacle People there. We need the logo.
All day. Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 PM UK time for more glutinous episodes. Subscribe now.
Oh, I need something at the end for the subscribe now because I used Lil earlier. I loved the trapdoor. I loved the trapdoor so much. God, I'd love to get a job digitizing that. Doing this job but for trapdoor would be so much fun.
Subscribe now. Glutinous episodes.
Okay, no, I need to cut to someone saying subscribe now. We haven't used any of these three, but I'll hold on to those shots in case we need them. I think we're nearly done. I think if I can get someone to say subscribe now at the end.
Episodes. Subscribe now.
If I can get someone to say subscribe now at the end, then we're done. I just need to find... I really wanted Uncle Silas. I still think I can get a shot of Uncle Silas doing it. Let's find him.
No.
Good. Right. I'd better be off. And you had better be careful.
I mean, I could try just using that shot.
We talked about paying you.
No.
Good. Right. I'd better be off. And you had better be careful. I'd better be off. And you had better be careful.
It's not the perfect shot. I'll take it for now as a placeholder. But I think I'll find a better one.
Episodes. Subscribe now. Subscribe. Subscribe. Subscribe now.
Doesn't quite work. We really do need a better one, but...
Subscribe now. Subscribe now.
But it kind of works. Let's do one more rewatch. If I can find, assuming I can find a better shot of Silas at the end.
It's the Treacle People, celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary. The beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube. Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you see all day. Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 PM UK time for more glutinous episodes. Subscribe now.
It kind of works. What do you guys think? Oh, I appreciate I've just shown that during an ad break. So half of you will be on ads anyway. Those of you who are subscribed to the channel and could see it, what do you think? Toby likes it. Yay. Let's see if I can find a better shot of Silas at the end, though. I really do think I can find one that's... Okay, not there. Not in this. He's not in episode 1. Or episode 2. I'm glad you think so, Butane. Okay.
Every 10 minutes, take a squeeze, right? Now then, here's the rules.
No, I didn't mean...
Amy.
Treacle has to be maintained at a constant 98.
Ooh! With the flick! Look at that!
The treacle has to be maintained at a constant 98.4. Otherwise, you get nodules.
No.
Maybe we could use that?
Working.
Oh, cool.
No. The treacle
I love that as well.
storage vat, which is where you two will be working.
Oh, cool.
No.
I love that. Someone says that to me in life. Oh, cool. No. It's great. No.
No. The treacle has to be maintained at a constant has to be maintained at a constant 98.4. Otherwise, you get
Let's try taking that. Thank you so much, Regan. That's so nice of you to say. Oh no. Okay, let's just overwrite him with this one instead.
Subscribe now.
Yes! That works!
Glutinous episodes. Subscribe now.
That works! I think. You know, with the cane throw and the...
More glutinous episodes. Subscribe now.
I'm happy with that.
Subscribe now.
It's good timing, I think. Right, let's just play the whole episode again. And if that, the whole promo again. And if that works, I'll export it.
It's the Treacle People! Celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube! Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you see all day! Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 PM UK time for more glutinous episodes! Subscribe now.
I'm pleased with that. I'm just wondering whether to switch these shots around at the start.
It's the Treacle People!
Because these are similar. Them shouting and then them shouting again. If I were to swap the order around. If I take Pendle and I pop him there. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Treacle People! Celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns.
I just think that works a bit better. Don't you think?
It's the Treacle People! Celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube! Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you see all day! Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 PM UK time for more glutinous episodes. Subscribe now.
It's an utterly insane premise. Yes, I adore it. It's just a completely balmy show, Butane. It's very silly. Oh, I'm going to post the link again since there's a few new people watching who haven't who weren't here earlier, sorry, I'm spamming the link on this, but I do want as many people to tune in as possible. Here's the show link. Subscribe to the channel if you like this nonsense you're watching me do. This is the Treacle People channel. The show's going to be going live on the 18th of March. And it would mean a lot to me if you tuned in.
Joe promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you've seen all day. All day.
I like that his landing syncs with day there.
Seen all day. All day.
Day.
Animation you've seen all day.
Day. Probably.
Tune in every.
Yeah, that works. Probably. Do I want to?
Tune in every Saturday at 5 p.m.
No, I'll keep.
Tune in every Saturday. Tune in every. Tune in every Saturday. Tune in every Saturday.
Yeah, I'll sync the cut on tune in.
Probably. Tune in
Every Saturday at 5 p.m.
UK time for more
glutinous episodes.
Subscribe now.
Okay, very good. So I need to re-record that opening monologue with the correct number of days. Which is annoying because I really liked this take. It was a really good take. But it's fine. We'll do it again. Now let's just make sure we've got this number definitely right. Days between 3rd of May 1996 and 18th of March 2023. 9,815 days. Can someone check that maths for me? Someone in the audience, can you just check that it's correct that the number of days between the 3rd of May 1996 and the 8th of March 2023 is 9,815? Just so I don't have to record this for a third time. Thank you, whoever's doing that. If anyone is, please. Just as a sanity check. Let's open Cubase. Oh, when I open this, the audio might drop on the stream. I don't think it will. It has done before. If it does, don't panic. I'll sort it, like, immediately. Well, that's a very different number. The dates are 3rd of May 1996, 3rd of May 1996 to 18th of March 2023. That was to today. Ah, right. Okay, how is everyone getting different numbers? Okay, before I record this, let's actually figure this out. Ghost King says 9815. Let's open Excel. Excel will do it for me. Let's just check. Right. We're going 18th of March 2023. And we're going 3rd of May 1996. And I'm going to do that minus that. 9815. 9815. Everyone's now agreeing 9815. That's what I'm going to record. Okay, I'm going to open Cubase. If the audio drops, I will fix it very quickly. Testing, 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 testing. Audio's still going. Testing, 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 testing. Audio's still going. Come on, load, 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 load. Treacle trailer. Testing. Audio's still happening. It's okay. I'm glad we all got to the same answer eventually. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Testing all the way. Yep, that's working very good. Let's record this line. Hey! Right, so what is the line?
It's the Treacle People! Celebrating its 9,089-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube!
Right. I've got that written down on a note here on my phone. So let me just change the number and I can read it out. 9815. 9,815 day. 9,815 day. Okay, and I will just try running the whole way through, but I'll probably just use this bit. Okay, here we go. It's the Treacle People! Celebrating its 9,815-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube! Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you see all day! Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 PM UK time for more glutinous episodes! Subscribe now. I think the now was a bit scary on that one at the end. I think we'll use the original now, but... Okay. Let's try exporting that. See if any of that was usable. What do you guys think? How was that take? Just use the first bit? Sure, let's have a look. Nous sommes les Carmous. Hang on. Well, the energy does have to be high for this. Yeah, the now on the previous take was better. The now on that second one was not as good. Let me just find the file. I think what I'll do is take the first bit of that new one and combine it with the second bit of the old one. Nous sommes les Carmous.
It's the Treacle People! Celebrating its 9,815-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube!
Right, I'll just take that bit.
It's the Treacle People!
Oops. Okay, let's just pop it in a different place and we'll drag it in.
It's the Treacle People! Celebrating its 9,815-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube! Packed full of nonsense.
Okay, it's not quite... What's happened to that? Why has it gone weird?
Comedy classic returns on...
Let's normalize that with that. Hang on, that was 3.2 and that was 0. So if I bump that up to 3.2 as well.
115-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy clap. It's the Treacle People. Celebrating its 9,815-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube. Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you see all day. Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 PM UK time for more glutinous episodes. Subscribe now.
What do you think? Does that work? I feel like it's when I know the line has changed, it's easy to overthink it. But I think it blends in.
It's the Treacle People. Celebrating its 9,815-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube. Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you see all day. Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 PM UK time for more glutinous episodes. Subscribe now.
No, I can't hear it. Yeah, I think it does. I think it does blend in. No, I like the subscribe now, Deep Major Risk. That's the point, is I'm trying to do this guy's voice in a way. I'm kind of copying it. I was sort of doing an impression of him.
Glutinous episodes. Subscribe now.
No, I think that's good. I'm not, it's obviously not an impression, it's just in the same tone. But yeah.
It's the Treacle People. Celebrating its 9,815-day anniversary, the beloved animated comedy classic returns on YouTube. Packed full of nonsense for both little ones and adults, this deeply silly show promises to be the best treacle-based stop-motion animation you see all day. Probably. Tune in every Saturday at 5 PM UK time for more glutinous episodes. Subscribe now.
Right, I'm happy with that. I just need to, now we need to change the aspect ratio and everything, make it look good. So we'll go File, Project Settings now. Same thing that we usually do, that I've written down, 1536 by, I think it's going to be 1132 because we've got the text of Treacle People coming up. Haven't we? At the end, which drips down. Yeah, so we need to go File, Project Settings, Image Scaling, Center Crop with no resizing. That's going to crop it all down like that. Then we copy the whole lot. That's everything. And link it. And link it with the audio. And then I'm going to go on the video and I'm going to zoom to 2.133 on the X and 2 on the Y-axis, which corrects the aspect ratio. I'm glad you find it funny. I wanted it to evoke the same comedy style as the show. And I'm trying to make my tone of voice be similar as well to the narrator in the show. You know, this guy. Hang on.
Our heroes had discovered treacle in the mines below Sabden. They had also discovered that they couldn't get out. But thanks to the professor, 2 old minecarts and a sack full of bubbles, they are now free. And everybody is back in business. Well, almost everybody.
Obviously, it's not the same, because I'm not the same guy, but it's the same kind of tone of voice I'm going for. Maybe a bit higher energy, but... Anyway, so we got the zooms. Sounds like a disease. Oh, I've got the zooms. No, treacle goes down like that. That looks good. So we need to just crop in the sides. Now, the level of crop will be different, because I'm assembling shots from different places. So let's try and keep it as wide as possible, as ever. Okay, there's a wider one. Oopsie daisy. There's a wide one. That's the widest, I think. So I'll cut to there for now and see how we get on. Let's go. We'll go 1500. Probably not enough. 1490. Bit more. 1484. Bit more. 1482. A little bit more. Yeah, we'll go 1480. I'd say that looks good. Let's check the edges on the other shots.
Subscribe now.
Yeah, and the bottom. Yeah, other side. Yeah, I think that's okay. Ah, there's a line there. We'll take a bit more. Darn it. Let's try 1472. No, we'll try 1472. A little bit more. 1470. Yeah, I reckon that's good. Yeah, well, it depends. 1462, but it depends on the shot and the frame. It depends on the episode, because they all have different widths. And what I want is the widest that I can get away with, because the wider it is, the better it looks. Yeah, I'd say that's good. Let's use it. Let's export this. But I want to mark the out. I want mark in, and I want mark out. Just zoom in and make sure I did that right. I didn't do that right. Let's mark out there. Back to the start. Mark in is in the right place. Good. Oh, audio. Let's add a little fade. Up to the first treacle.
Subscribe now.
Good. Treacle trailer. And I'm going to go V1 because I'm sure I'll end up wanting to change it when I've shown it to my dad. He'll probably have suggestions and things. But MP4, 265, preset very slow, 2-pass full, add to render queue. No, thinking about it. Videos, yep, Treacle trailer V1. Render! Smashing! Right. Okay, folks, that's everything I wanted to achieve today. That's been very productive. Thank you for keeping me company while I did all that. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel for the Treacle People, especially if you're watching on a VOD afterwards. I'll put a link in the description down below. But do subscribe and tune into the first episode. It'll be really funny. It's just a great show. We'll be running the full 13 episodes of the first series every Saturday for 13 weeks from the 18th of March. And there'll be little tidbits coming out before then and a few things after. Then there's the Christmas special, which there'll be a gap till December. But, you know, there'll be a 13-week thing with the first series. So, yeah, tune in for that. But, yes, thank you all for watching. Stay marvellous. And I won't be here on Saturday, but I will be here on Monday. So I will see you all then. Bye, everyone! Bye!